You've probably done this before. You open your phone and buy a stock. It starts going up, 2x, maybe even 3x, and suddenly you're thinking, all right, time to take profits. So you hit sell, and now you're holding cash, feeling pretty good, because that's what we're taught, right? Lock in gains. Be responsible. Don't get greedy. But here's the thing. What if I told you the wealthiest people in the world don't think like that at all? They see things completely differently. In fact, selling to winners might be the exact reason you're staying stuck. My name is Zach, and I spend way too much time thinking about how wealthy people actually build and keep their money. If you've been saving, investing, doing everything right, but still feel like you're not getting ahead, this is going to change how you think. Most of us are taught that investing is simple. Buy low, sell high, repeat. And on paper, that sounds perfect. But here's what nobody tells you. Every time you sell, you reset everything. You interrupt compounding. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say you invest $100,000. It grows to $200,000. Nice. Now you sell. And just like that, taxes take a chunk. You're left with around $150,000. So even though your investment doubled, your actual wealth only grew about 50%. Now compare that to someone who didn't sell. They keep the full $200,000 invested and let it grow. Over the next 20, 30 years, that difference becomes massive. The seller ends up with around $1.7 million. The holder, over $2.3 million. That's a $600,000 difference from doing nothing differently, except not selling. Now here's where it gets interesting. Wealthy people don't just hold. They do something else entirely. They borrow. Instead of selling their assets, they take loans against them. And this isn't rare. It's actually very common among ultra-wealthy investors. They use their portfolios as collateral and borrow at low interest rates. So imagine this. You own an asset worth $1 million. Instead of selling it, you borrow $400,000 against it at maybe 4%. That's about $16,000 a year in interest. Meanwhile, your asset keeps growing at 7, maybe 8%. So you're doing three things at once. You keep the upside, you avoid taxes, and you still get access to cash. Now you might be thinking, okay, but that sounds risky. I'd rather just take my profits. And honestly, that's completely fair, because psychologically, we're wired this way. We like locking in wins. We hate losses, and we feel safer holding cash. There's even a concept for this. It's called loss aversion, and it shows that losing money hurts about twice as much as gaining it feels good. So when you sell, it feels like control. But in reality, you might be trading long-term wealth for short-term comfort. Here's the mindset shift that changed everything for me. Cash is not wealth. Cash gets taxed. Cash loses value to inflation, and most of the time, it just sits there. Assets, on the other hand, they grow, they generate income, they can be used as collateral, and they compound quietly over time. Think about real estate paying you rent, or businesses generating recurring revenue. These don't just go up in price, they pay you to hold them. So when wealthy people look at an asset, they don't ask, how much can I sell this for? They ask, how long can this keep paying me? Because to them, selling means ending the income. Selling means paying taxes. Selling means losing control. Instead, they build systems where assets generate cash, assets support loans, and loans fund new assets. It's not just a portfolio, it's a machine. Now, you might be thinking, I'm not a billionaire, I can't do that. And you're right, you don't have access to all the same tools, but the principle still applies, even at a smaller level. Holding quality assets longer, avoiding unnecessary selling, thinking in decades, not months. That alone can change everything.